All right. So before we start with telling our stories and kind of why I like to do this, just make sure that you're commenting each day. If you're a day or two behind, not a big deal. But after 3 days, it becomes, I'm kind of preaching to the choir because you guys are here, so you're the ones that are most active. But it's kind of hard for me and Alicia to then go back, especially next week and the week after that, to go back to the previous weeks. So we'll show up every single day if you guys show up every single day. And like I said, I'm preaching to the choir. If you haven't written out your diamond planner, there is in the file section, you can just print it out, your diamond tracker, or you can just have a piece of paper, but have that out in front of you. Don't just throw it somewhere where you're not gonna see it. See that tracker every single day, and it's just going to help you kind of get you to where you wanna go if you have that in your face every single day. So for tonight, since this is the Emerald to Diamond group, I'm going to not do a lot of the talking, and neither is Alicia. You guys are going to be talking about your stories. And number one, this group is about getting you outside your comfort zones. If you don't feel uncomfortable, then you're just really you're cool. You're going to feel uncomfortable. You need to feel uncomfortable. You need to be oh my gosh, am I really doing this stuff? I have butterflies in my stomach. That's totally normal, and you want that. That's the only way that you're going to learn and grow as a person. So the first thing is just getting your story out and telling that to people every single day. So you guys probably see me, Alicia, Jessica, Courtney, Danielle. We all tell our stories, and a lot of us, I've been in this for 3.5 years. And just because I shared my story one time doesn't mean, I sent it, I told it once. I'm going to stop. That's it. Oh, everyone heard my story. No, you need to tell your story every single day. And your story is different for each of us. My story isn't your story, and vice versa. And by stories, it's not always going to be me telling, talking about me leaving my full-time job, or me losing 30 pounds with insanity. But it's just the story of your life. Little kind of snippets, little kind of video clips, highlight reels of your life that you're sharing with people. Because that's how people are going to feel connected. That's how people are going to be inspired. That's how people are going to be able to kind of feel that trust with you. Wow, Tracy went through that. I totally understand where she's coming from. I feel comfortable reaching out to her about that because I can relate to her on some sort of level. So don't just put your story out there once. In Coach Basics, we have you do your kind of coming out post. That's your coming out story, right? And some coaches stop there because they're well, I already said it and no one said anything. Well, that's because you didn't continue with it. That's because you weren't using that compound effect and picking up that momentum. That's why, it's so easy to do this, but it's so easy not to do this kind of stuff. So I'm going to make you get uncomfortable tonight. I will go first. Let's keep it at 2 to 3 minutes of you kind of telling your story, and you can kind of use, this 4 parts to your story. Listen to me, Alicia, if you don't mind going after me, and then you guys will go after Alicia. So, and this is going to be great whether you're saying this on Facebook or whether you're face-to-face with people, because people ask me all the time. Today I was at the doctor's office and they're so you're on your lunch break? I'm no. Lunch break from what? They're work. I was no, I work from home. I'm a health and fitness coach. I used to be an athletic trainer, but I quit. So you always kind of want to have that story so that you can tell people right away. Like I said, 2 minutes, done. So how I always start it is I always start it with a time. So I'll say 3 years ago, I used to be an athletic trainer and I absolutely hated it. It was sucking the life out of me. And being an athletic trainer, I was very unhealthy because I was so unhappy with what I was doing. I was working long hours. I was in a long distance relationship and it was just making me miserable. mentally and physically. So I started gaining a lot of weight. And as an athletic trainer, that was kind of, going against the grain of what, athletic trainers are supposed to be. And I realized like, wow, I gained a ton of weight and I needed to really just make a difference because I was going, in a downward spiral. And I remember my brother telling me about this workout program called Insanity. And I actually bought it off of Amazon, which is a big Beachbody no-no because you don't get a coach, you don't get any help. But I didn't have time. I didn't have time to go to a gym. I didn't have money to spend on anything else. But I could, do the workout DVD in my condo and then go right to work from there. So that's what I did. I got the program. I lost 30 pounds in 60 days. And I was absolutely shocked that I got in the best shape of my life with a workout DVD, because being an athletic trainer, I thought you had to go to the gym. You had to be on the treadmill. You had to be lifting weights. You had to be, strength training. You had to be spending so much time. And I realized after I did Insanity, do other people know about this? Why was I lied to my entire life? So that's when I finally reached out to, I went on to teambeachbody.com. And you get a free coach because I wanted to see what this whole coaching thing was about. And my free coach reached out to me, and she was a complete stranger. And she told me, how awesome it was, the results that I got. She told me of another workout program I could do. She told me about Shakeology for my nutrition, because we can't just, work out and eat like crap. We have to add the nutrition in too. And then she added in, hey, you'd make a really great coach. And I thought, lady, you're crazy. I don't know you. I don't know who you are. But in the back of my mind, I knew that this coaching thing could get me out of the rut I was in. It could get me out of that Monday through Saturday job I was working. It could get me out of feeling like I was kind of in that status quo and not really going anywhere in my life. Because I always thought, you had to go to school, get a degree, get really good grades and have that, perfect career, and then wait until you're 65 and retire. And that just didn't sit well with me. So that's when I realized, you know what? If the worst thing that's happening is that I get in the best shape and I don't really help anyone else besides me, if I just continue on my own journey, then that's a win-win situation. So I became a coach, and after 3 years, it honestly completely changed my life. I was able to quit my full-time job as an athletic trainer. I've been able to move to the shore, and we purchased our brand new home that we were able to build. And our future is just ours now. We get to have that freedom to go where we want to and not worry about bills and not, kind of have that cloud over our heads. Like, if something bad happens, how are we going to get out of it? We have a plan now. So that's a little bit of my story. I kind of broke it down a little bit because we have a little bit of a time crunch. So I shared with you guys my background, right? I told you 3 years ago I was an athletic trainer. I told you I hated being an athletic trainer, that it was sucking the life out of me, that it was like the status quo of, living day after day after day, like Groundhog Day. The solution, I found Insanity, and I lost 30 pounds and felt in the best shape of my entire life. And if you don't have, a lot of people get caught up on the last part. Well, I didn't leave my job. Well, I didn't lose 30 pounds yet. Well, I didn't do this or I didn't do that. Why are you excited about this? What makes you excited about it? What are those little small things that maybe you just have more energy, or your jeans aren't so snug anymore, or you've met this great, amazing group of women that, like, wow, people are empowering. They're not trying to push you down or stab you in the back. So Alicia, do you want to kind of tell your story, and then we'll go down from there?
So for those of you who don't know, I am from North Dakota. If you would put your finger on a map of North Dakota, like, I am right in the central part, south central. But I live in the middle of nowhere, basically, on a farm with 400 cows and my husband and my in-laws. And it sounds like oh my gosh, like awful, but it's not. Like I grew up on a farm. I actually live like 20 miles from my parents. My husband and I went to high school and elementary school together. We've known each other since kindergarten. Um, and so I actually have a little different story than Rose. And I always like to enjoy telling my story because it could have been totally different. Like it's so crazy, like how we end up like where we're supposed to end up. But in 2014, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And then a few months down the road, I was also diagnosed with psoriasis. And I was only 23, and we were only married for a little over a year. So it was pretty devastating to hear this news. I had known that something was going on for quite a while, but I always ignored going to the doctor because I kind of knew what the outcome would be because my grandpa has RA as well. And so I kind of knew. And so it was October. And so I was getting towards the end of the year, and I knew that I didn't want to go on harsh medications because that's pretty much the solution for RA. And I just kind of wanted to try natural and try to eat healthier and try, exercising. And so that's when I saw one of my friends that I actually met on a wedding planning blog, because I was actually a blogger and everything before I even was a coach. And she's from Canada, and I saw that she was doing PiYo, and I was like, what the heck is this? And so I actually remember even Googling it, and I went to the Beachbody website, and I was like, okay, what is this all about? And then I saw like P90X, and I was like, oh, like, okay, like I kind of know, like I've heard of P90X, I've heard of Insanity. And so anyway, I kind of asked her, I was like, so what are you doing? Like, what's this PiYo? And she kind of told me, but she didn't tell me much. And so I ended up signing up, and I got Rose as my coach, and she reached out to me. And I was like, who is this lady? Kind of like the same situation. And later I found out that the girl that inspired me to do PiYo was actually a coach. So I could have actually signed up with her. And that's why I always tell people it's so important to let people know on social media and your friends and family that you are a coach, because you can miss out on, a coach or a customer. My coach or my friend from Canada missed out on me, and Lisa could have missed out on Rose. So, I mean, it's really important that you reach out to those people. But with that being said, here I am, and I am still not on any medication. My psoriasis completely, I don't even have scars from the psoriasis, which is amazing. Like, I wish I would have taken before and after pictures because I didn't know that Shakeology would help with that. So that in itself is amazing. I work out every day, 7 days a week for the most part. Yeah, I guess that's kind of my story. The biggest thing, like I said, is to make sure that you're doing your duty with reaching out to people and that people know that you're a coach, because like I said, my story could have been completely different. I wouldn't even be on this call with you guys tonight, if I would have signed up with somebody else. So, you always end up where you're supposed to be. And I am so thankful and happy that I have Rose as a coach and a friend. And, like just to think like, with her story, like it's so crazy. Like as I was listening, I was like, man, that is just amazing. Like that she gets to all this free time. Well, I mean, like it's, she's not like vegging out on the couch every day, but, but, it's just amazing. But those are, that's definitely something that I would want to, and that I am very hopeful and excited about, because as a farmer's wife, a lot of our income as farmers basically goes back into our farm operation, because like buying the seed that we have to buy every year and like buying a cow, like I went to actually my first cattle sale this winter, which is funny because I grew up on a grain farm, so we didn't have cattle. And some of the cows there are like, some of the top bulls are selling for like $20,000 and that's just one bull. So it's crazy. And so a lot of that money just goes back into the farming operation. And so there's not a lot of extra fun money that like for trips, and I love to travel. So that was kind of one of my main goals, is just to make sure that I'm always helping out with income-wise. And then eventually I would like to be more full-time Beachbody and part-time at my full-time job because I drive 40 miles every day one way. And so it does get to be a lot. And so I look forward to that and hopefully being able to retire young.
Awesome. And great point, Alicia, with making sure people know that you're a Beachbody coach. I think people kind of think, or you assume that people know because you're showing your workout pics and you're showing yourself drinking Shakeology, but don't assume that. Your posts have to state you're a coach, that you can help people, and that they can do the same thing with coaching. So that you're a coach, you can help them, and that they can do the same things. So those 3 things, if I'm scrolling through your Facebook, I should find those 3 things within like 5 seconds. Okay, who wants to go next? Diana, you go. Sorry. I had to call someone.
I like wrote all these notes. I don't know if it's going to be 2 minutes.
Just do your best.
I don't even okay.
So just go bullet point. What's your background?
Okay. Gosh, I don't know how honest to get because I have some stuff that led me to fitness. Okay. All right. So as far as fitness was ever concerned, I really never struggled with weight or anything. I never had a story like that all the way. After I had my first son at 22, I fell into drug addiction really bad. And then when I got myself clean in 2010, I put on a bunch of weight then. So that's when I found fitness, kind of. That's what kind of led me there. I met a woman who ran a boot camp in her basement when I was living in Central Jersey because I moved away from here to get myself together. And I'm in South Jersey now, so I didn't say where I was from. But and I went to this boot camp 3 days a week, and I loved it. And I was on Weight Watchers. So I was following Weight Watchers and doing the boot camp, and then I moved back to my original area, and I didn't have any of that anymore. So I joined a gym, and it was just me and my son at that point. I joined a gym, and I was taking everything that I learned from her with me to the gym. But it wasn't lasting the way that it was when I was being committed in a boot camp. So I started running my own boot camp, on my own at my church because I got really involved in my church and not charging anybody anything. It was kind of just an accountability thing for myself, and other people were always curious what kind of workouts I did. So I was just kind of sharing with them what I learned from my personal trainer. I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter, and I stayed in the gym because my son was old enough to be in school. So I was able to go to the gym, and I was doing Zumba there and the classes there, and that worked for that time. But while I was pregnant with her, I heard about Insanity on the infomercials. So, and we were planning on getting married 6 months after my daughter was born. So I already had a game plan in my head that I was going to do this Insanity. I couldn't afford it for real, outright. And I knew nothing. I really didn't know anything about Shakeology or the coach part or anything like that. But my friend, she could download things. So she downloaded it for me, and that's how I got Insanity. And after I had my daughter, I did the 60 days, and I really stuck to it. No meal plan, no Shakeology or nothing, but I got incredible results. And I got married in the best shape of my life after having 2 kids. And then after the wedding, I went back to my workouts here and there and gained slowly started to gain weight back again. So then I was okay, I need another challenge. So then she downloaded T25 for me, and I started doing T25. And then I got pregnant with my 3rd child, and I continued with T25 throughout the pregnancy. And then after that, I got Insanity Max 30. illegally again. So then I did Insanity Max 30. And that was last year, 2015. And also after I had my third, we decided that I should come home from full-time work, which we couldn't afford to do, but it was just a big jump that me and my husband both felt led to do. So we had to crunch on everything. So that's where like the financial part started to come in for us. So after I did Insanity Max 30 last year, again, fluctuated. And then this winter hit, 3 kids. I have no time. Every excuse in the book came up. So I said, I'm ready for another challenge. So I heard Hammer and Chisel was out, and I knew I wanted to do Hammer and Chisel. At the same time that I was researching to do Hammer and Chisel, Danielle reached out to me, my coach Danielle. And this is what you were just talking about, friend requesting and who your friend requesting. My coach happened to be, she didn't realize it at the time, but she happened to know my mom from, she used to nanny children that went to my mom's preschool. So somehow I liked one of her posts. She friend requested me, and she started to look at, because I also had a fitness page going on because of my boot camp that I run for free. So she had reached out to me at the same time. So it was like everything was lined up at the right time. I was ready for Hammer and Chisel. She thought that, she saw something about me that maybe I should be a coach. So we got into conversation, and I'm like, oh, it's free to sign up to be a coach if I'm going to get the challenge pack anyway. And I was not a shake person at all. I was always like, no, I learned from Weight Watchers how to eat right. I know what I'm doing. I got this. But I was like, I guess I got to try the Shakeology since I'm going to be a coach. I have to know what this is all about. So I just jumped in. And I figured I really don't know anything about being a coach, but I do know that I always liked Beachbody programs. So I'm like doing this kind of for me, really. And then, with our financial situation, mind you, we are, on food stamps, climbing our way out of that. Finances is really, really hard. My husband picked up 2 jobs last year and ended up losing one over the winter. So he's just starting back with a second job now. So the financial piece kind of was an incentive too to start. So, I mean, the solution, I guess, obviously was always the programs for me. And since I jumped in to be a coach and did it the right way and incorporated the nutrition and the support and everything with it, it's just, I've gotten even better results for myself. And not only that, but I was sharing these programs with people before I was a coach, and I missed out on so many opportunities. I mean, I went through 3 programs, and I was actually sharing them in my boot camps sometimes, and people were going out and getting these programs, and I had no idea about the coaching stuff. So now that I'm a coach, I have so much excitement for the future, because within the 3 months that I've been doing this, the opportunities that have come up it's been phenomenal. I mean, aside from the income part, like I spend so much time with people, and it's like seeing them get excited and getting the same results. I already got excited about that in the first place, but now I can actually do it in a way like where I'm like conducting groups online, and it's just more effective for them and for me. So I don't know. I guess that's my story.
Love it. Yeah. I know the first time, like saying it out loud, it's hard, but as you say it more and more and more and more, you can kind of narrow it out, take some, pieces in, throw some pieces, so, and your story is going to change over time too, but awesome job.
Thanks.
Tracy, you're next on my screen.
Hi. All right. Well, that's a tough act to follow. That was really good. I guess my fitness background, I've always been into fitness. I always did sports in high school, got in really good shape. Then I got married, gained a lot of weight, got divorced, lost all my stress weight, and then got in a really good shape then. Then I got back into another relationship with actually my college sweetheart that I'm marrying next year. And I gained my happy weight, So I kind of got into tried a bunch of different fitness programs. I did T25. I did some of the Jillian Michaels one. I had good success with all of them, but I'm such a yo-yo dieter, I guess. I couldn't really keep my nutrition on point. So then I was doing one of the Jillian workouts actually when Leah reached out to me, Leah Lewis, my coach. And she, people have been trying to recruit me for Beachbody for years. And I was like, oh no, it's a pyramid scheme, not doing it. So, she just kept, she kept inviting me. I kept saying, no, not now, not now. And finally I've been watching her posts, like people do. And I was finally like, you know what, I think I'm going to give this a shot. So I did. Mostly for me, it's not so much about the money. Like I just recently fell into a job that I really like, so it's more about keeping myself accountable because I'm still in that yo-yo spot. I don't know if y'all have been reading my posts, but this is helping keeping me more accountable. I really just like inspiring people. Even the people that, I've tried to get involved, they're like, not now, but you're really inspiring. And that's just like nice to hear. So I do like that, the inspiration part of it. And I've also reconnected with a ton of people. Like I went through this phase after I moved from, in with my fiance where I was just like a complete hermit. And I don't want to go out. I don't want to talk to anybody. People would call and like go to voicemail. And now I'm like reconnecting with all these people that I haven't talked to in like years. And this one girl I grew up with, I haven't spoken with her in years. Now we're like talking every day on Facebook because she's about to get married too. I'm trying to sell her a challenge bag. But it's the social aspect of it, I guess, mostly for me, and I'm excited to, keep expanding my circle, maybe make a little money while I'm at it. That's pretty much my story. And obviously continue to keep myself accountable, hopefully get, back to my goal weight in time for my wedding. So.
Awesome. I love it. The wedding. What do they call it? Sweating for the wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you see, like, everyone has completely different stories, but that's what makes you you. So you're all about like yo-yo dieting and, sweating for the wedding and all that. Like, that's awesome, awesome, awesome. And it doesn't have to be that you hate your job like me or, love that it's about keeping yourself accountable, inspiring other people. That's what it's about too. So awesome job.
Thanks.
I think, Christy, you're next on my screen.
Okay. Can you see me?
I see
I'm here.
red.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. I can hear you.
Okay. Can you see me?
No. Can you guys see her? No, I think your thumb is over it.
No, it's not. Huh.
That's okay. We can hear you.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll just talk then.
Okay.
So, my background, I guess we could start with, I was very athletic, as younger. I never had a problem with weight. And then at one point I became bulimic and I became anorexic after being bulimic because people realize that, they start to notice that you're getting sick. So it was easier just not to eat. So, and then after I was almost put in the hospital and I decided that wasn't the right way for me to go. And I basically went back to eating and it was kind of hard. Well, fast forward a few more years. So I got married and now I have 3 children. So after my first child, I gained some weight and I was like, oh yeah, I'll lose it. But I'm going to have another baby anyway. So no big deal. So then after the second child, I was like, oh, no big deal. I'll lose it once, I'm going to have another baby anyway. We'll just wait until then. And then after my third child, which he's 7 months old, I had a hemorrhagic brain bleed, which caused a stroke, and could cause a grand mal seizure. So I had been hospitalized for that and I was on medication and I realized that, okay, enough with during the years of my other children, I tried every diet where I'd lose 5 pounds, gain 10 pounds, lose whatever. So at that point I was like, I have to do something that is now that I need to be healthy. Like I, was in the coma. It was terrible. Like they didn't know if I was going to wake up. And I was like, I need to be now healthy and lose the weight and be able to run with my boys and be able to keep up with them because they are extremely active. And a friend of mine was doing the 21 Day Fix, and she's actually my coach. And I reached out to her. I was like, what are you doing? I can't drive because after the seizure, you can't drive for so long. I couldn't drive. I was on terrible medication that was making me feel like garbage, which I didn't really realize how bad the medication was until after I stopped taking it, because now I've been cleared of that part. But she told me all about the 21 Day Fix and Shakeology, and I started. I was like, all right, I'm going to start. And I started, and I just fell in love with it. I loved the shakes. I loved the eating program. I loved the workouts. And she said to me, do you want to be a coach? And I was like, I don't know. She's like, I think it'd be really good. So I was like, okay. So, I mean, I would say like the financial aspect, yes, it's nice that by coaching I can have a few things paid for, but I really did this for me. And because I need to be healthy and to be in good shape so that I can be here for my boys and, having the fear that, what happens, and now I need to, be on the right track. And so that's one of the reasons that I joined, and I'm excited about it. And I've already gotten my sisters involved, which is fun because now it's something that we can all do together. We all work out together. We talk about the shakes and all the programs and stuff. So it's kind of become like fun, and it's fun to be able to network with people that I haven't talked to in a long time, get them involved. And so that's why I'm excited about, going forward. So that's my story.
Wow, Chrissy. Well, I'm happy that everything worked out with your health and that you found something that's working for you. Awesome. I mean, sad story, but you came out obviously at the best end possible. So
Yes.
great. Who is Sarah still on the line? Oh, you are here. I don't know why I couldn't see your picture for a second.
I said yes, I'm here, but I was muted, so it didn't matter because you couldn't hear me.
You're all good. Okay, you're next.
Okay. So I guess my story would be like 2010. I got P90X with my husband because we were going to be going away, and I wanted to, lose some weight and put on a bikini and feel okay. So we did that. We didn't complete the program. And then I got pregnant with my son. And then after that, I did, then of course, like when you get pregnant and you give birth, even if you get back to the same weight, things shift. So sometimes you still don't fit into your old clothes, even though you weigh the same, the same. But anyway, so the next program I got was Insanity. And I did the Insanity, had results with that, but also did not finish that to the end. And then, and this is just all from like looking at the infomercials. This is how I'm getting them. Not like, didn't know anything about anything with coaching or anything like that. Then I got T25 and did that. Didn't complete that one to the end either. I would always do like the first month, and then I would see results, and then I would stop. So I'd be like, all right, I'd get comfortable, and then I'd be like, all right, and I'd slowly whittle off. And so then last year, I weighed the most that I had ever weighed. And I was just like, okay, now I'm into like a whole nother level of numbers that like I've never been before. I have to like, start doing something. I started going to the gym. I started, taking body combat classes, and doing all that. So I started losing weight doing that. And then that was all last summer. Then September rolled around and slowly started to fall off again. So then after Christmas time, I was like, all right, I got to like really focus and get, New Year resolution. So I picked up T25 again because it was 25 minutes and I really, really liked that one. And I knew that I can get it done if I can get myself to wake up in the morning. So I was seeing, like I started doing that and I was seeing my now coach, Lisa, I was seeing her posting. And like I've been seeing her posting and doing all this stuff with Beachbody and everything. And I was like, looks pretty cool. So I started doing it. I actually started because I felt like if I put myself out there, I have to be accountable. So like if people knew that I was doing this, I have to do it. I have to, be accountable for myself. So I started like putting myself out there. No coach, nothing like that. So I reached out to Lisa for something. I had asked her a question. I don't remember what the question was. It could have been about Shakeology. I don't know. So she messaged me back and she's like, you know what? She's like, you should really consider coaching. She's like, you're doing everything anyway. She's like, you're posting on Facebook about it. You're like doing the workouts. Like you should, think about it, try it, whatever. So, I talked to my husband and, cause money's always tight. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And Shakeology, I'm home direct all the time. And so finally I just, I took the leap and then started doing the coaching thing. And I've never held myself to anything this long. Like I am in month 4. I am working out like every day. My nutrition's not always dialed in. Like I was just telling Tracy on her post, like I'm the same way. Like this round, I'm really trying to stick to it hard. But like when I was doing the 22-minute hard course for a while, it's rough sometimes. I have a sweet tooth. I overindulge sometimes, but I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to, I write all my foods down. So I feel like that's holding me more accountable. But the fact that is that I'm putting myself out there. People know what I'm doing. I'm holding myself accountable. And I think that I feel like being a coach is helping me stay on track. And then like taking it a step further, seeing other people have financial freedom and talk about financial freedom and knowing myself that like, the daycare is expensive and, everything is expensive and owning a home is expensive. And it would really be nice to not have money stresses. It would really be nice so then it's it's turning into, well, maybe, you know what, I'm going to do this and maybe I'm gonna like make more money for myself to give myself more financial freedom, my family more financial freedom, be able to not stress and worry so much about what bill is coming in the door and I have to pay for this and I have to do that and can I put my son in swimming lessons or can I do this for him, or I don't want to have to worry. I want to just be able to just do whatever I want. So I guess that's where I'm at now. And the fact that the team that I'm on, I'm very thankful for because everybody's so uplifting. Like I can be down in the dumps and then I see somebody post something and I'm just like, you know what? Like I don't want to do my workout in the morning. And then I look at my phone and I scroll and there's, people are like, I'm not going to do a workout. Who's press and play? This, I'm just like, I got to get up and do this. Like all the coaches are doing this. I got to be an example and it pushes me harder. So, all of that together, I guess, that would be why I'm excited.
That's awesome, Sarah. Thanks so much for sharing. And like you're kind of, the mom and you have that, that's your story. And I just love hearing everyone's so different, everyone, comes from a different background. Everyone has something different that, a lot of people tell me there's so many Beachbody coaches or, the market's saturated or this or that, but you guys are so different and so unique from everyone else that, someone is not going to relate to me. And it's happened where people people sign up with another coach on our team, and I'm like, hey, that's awesome. I don't care, as long as you get what you need. And if I can't provide that for you, then that's totally fine. But and I think it does come from being vulnerable and putting ourselves out there. And we think being vulnerable is, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for. It's too late. But we feel like being vulnerable is something bad, right? But when other people see us being vulnerable, they find that, oh, that's what the weakness. So when we are sharing our vulnerability, sorry, I'm like all tongue twisted tonight. We feel that that's us being weak. But when other people hear our stories and hear our struggles, they see that as strength. They see that as inspiration. They see that as motivation. So if you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't share this because it makes me look weak, don't think of it like that. Think of it as, I'm going to be helping so many people because I'm not the only one that's struggling with this, because you guys aren't. There's so many other people out there, whether it's body image or finances or just eating ice cream all the time. People are going to relate to everyone differently, and they're going to appreciate you being vulnerable, and they're going to appreciate you being you and you being different. Alicia, did you have anything that you wanted to add, or anyone else that wanted to add anything for tonight about sharing stories or anything? Nope. Okay, so for the action stuff for tonight, because of course we have to have an action step on top of everything else that you guys are doing. Pick a story, whether it's and just pick a piece. Maybe it's a piece that you shared tonight, or maybe a piece of your story that you haven't shared with people before. Pick that and share it either tomorrow morning. If not, hold off until like Sunday night, because that's a good time to save your good post so more people can see it. If you guys need help figuring out what part of your story you want to share, use this group to your advantage, right? You're all shooting not just for Diamond. Yeah, Diamond's great, Diamond's shiny and pretty, but you're all just shooting to be more successful, to grow your business, to grow as a person. So use each other, connect with each other, post in the group. Me and Alicia are here for, whether it's about the assignment for the day or not, we're here for you girls. All right? Awesome. Have a great Thursday, and we'll see you in the group. And we'll do next Thursday at 8:30. I pushed it that 20 minutes for that phone call if you hit Success Club for this week. But next Thursday, 8:30, I'll make an event for it, and I'll see you live for that one. All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.